we are again, TVC 22, Cats About Town, back in the studio. Well, it's soon to become a studio.
I think so.
Back in the shop of Moonlight Medium in the Royal Plaza with Mary Bachat, who opened this shop about a year and a half ago, 2 years
Almost
ago?
2 years.
2 years, almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. May 1st. It's going to be exactly 2 years.
And has been absolutely multiplying all the discoveries in our nice little region. Last time we met here, it was just Mary and I, and we talked about spirituality, mediums, the things that are unseen, the things that are unknown, the things that we want to know about, the things that we want to find out more about because they are such an integral part of our lives, and absolutely, you find out in time, they're absolutely essential to living our lives the way we were meant to be. We all need to listen more. We all need to hear and pay attention. And sometimes we don't know how to listen, and we don't know what to listen to. We're certainly not taught these things. Most of us aren't taught these things in school. We are left to our own devices to absorb everything that's around us in school, in music, in movies, in the media, in the newspapers, in books, and we don't know how to discriminate, but we absorb it all, and it hits us like a ton of bricks sometimes, and often messes us up something fierce. And this is where somebody like Mary comes in so handy, because she helps us hear things we can't hear. She helps us figure out what we should listen to, and she helps us get back on track through help from her guides and mediums. It might sound a little esoteric to some of you, but for those of you who have dared to try and dared to step out of your comfort zone, you have not been disappointed. And in fact, today we're going to have Mary and a special guest talk about these things and perhaps convince you that if you're making the effort to listen to Cats About Town, it's even more worth your while to make the effort to listen to your spirits, who are always there with us. So Mary, by way of introduction, I think I've just about gotten everyone's attention. Over to you. You do such a good job.
Thank you, and I'm very grateful for that. And it's been a very interesting 2 years. I hear this, and I just heard it actually yesterday, a friend slash client kind of thing, that she said, you know what, I can't believe that you're still here. A lot of people were very skeptical about the duration of the store and how long the store is going to be open. And even close family and friends, they were very, very skeptical also, and said, it's not going to work. This is not going to work. But you know what? Almost 2 years into business, and there's more people that find out about Moonlight Medium. And one thing that they know, that I work with a lot of integrity, and I'm totally honest. If I don't know, I don't know. When I know, I know. Whatever I have, whatever I accumulated in the past 50 years of experience and hands-on, I'm actually sharing this with everybody, and I'm happy.
Your integrity is something very important in this line of work, because you don't have a professional association that puts its 2 cents worth about whether or not you are qualified.
There is actually an association for medium. It's not mandatory. It's free. Like if you want to join, you can join. If you don't, you don't. I chose not to follow anything because
why am I not surprised?
I believe in the free spirit. I believe that everybody have a free will. They should discover their own path. They should discover the things that work for them.
Totally
and
true.
You know,
we're not children.
That's right. We're not
in some
children.
ways we are, but
but if everybody follow their gut feeling, which is actually is the connection that we have between us and the divine energy, just your gut feeling. I'm sure that everybody's going to land where they're supposed to be. Unfortunately, people go on the outside, look for answers, where all the answers are on the inside. So if we take 5-10 minutes every day and we sit with ourselves and reflect and see how the day went, have I been nice to people today, did I help somebody today, did I smile to somebody today, did I make a difference in somebody's life today, that will be worthwhile. And also to do a check-in, check with your gut feeling, see what your divine energy is telling you, because we are part of this divine energy. Go for it, try it.
And if you find that you've fallen short, should you despair? Should you feel that you don't have what it takes to be part of the human race? Or should you find answers? Or is there some place you can go to figure out what you should do?
You know, Kate, every week or every day, I see a lot of people on a weekly basis. I do. I do a lot of readings, and I see how much people are struggling with day-to-day life. And the problem that we have today with humanity, with people, is they want everything yesterday. They want to make it happen fast. It doesn't work like that. We are in that pace of being fast and everything is quick, and when we don't take our times anymore, it's like they say, you know, stop and smell the roses or smell the coffee, but we don't do that. So when we want something, we want it yesterday. But I tell people, I said, when you ask something, your guides that you actually brought with you to guide you through this life, they hear you when you start asking. If you ask, you're going to receive, but you're only going to receive when it's due to you. You're not going to receive this within 5 minutes after you think about something or ask about something. So no, don't be despair. Keep on asking, because everything will come to you in due time. And when it comes to us in due time, it's so easy. We don't have to struggle. We don't have to stress. We stress because we want to make things happen now. And that's a big misconception that people have.
What you say resonates with me right now, because in this line of work, volunteer work, I have the opportunity to talk to many people who have succeeded. But it's very seldom that they succeed right away. But once people end up in that place where they are meant to be, where the fit is perfect between what their interest is, what their passion, what their skills are, they know it. And for you, it wasn't immediate either, right? You worked for the federal government for many years before you finally gave in, and landed here.
Well, I worked for the federal government. I only was there for 14 years. I did over 25 years in the private sector, so I was mostly in the private sector. I ran companies for other people. They used to pay me to run, to take care of the business. And I think that's why I'm successful, or I have a good head on my shoulder, because my past experience and what I did for living in the past. But I always did this. It doesn't matter. I always did this. The mediumship has always been part of me. I cannot ignore that. Yes, I did when I was a teenager, but a teenager, your hormones are working, etc., and you don't know who you are and what you want. But as I was getting advanced in age, it's me. I was very unhappy if I didn't do this.
You, I suspect, have always been someone who's had a lot of energy and drive, and you've gone after what you wanted and experienced many different things. You once mentioned that to me. You have to experience everything.
Yep.
Not too many people dare to do that. There are so many taboos and restrictions on us in our lives, and we want to please so-and-so, and we want to not incur the wrath of so-and-so, and we don't want criticism. But in fact, the only one we're supposed to please is ourselves, because ourselves are is what is connected to our Creator.
Exactly. Exactly.
Our creative spirit, our creative juice is the most important thing to nurture. You've certainly done it with this shop, and you've not done it just for your own well-being, you've done it for the well-being of many. You've brought on so many people, and you've met so many people.
Kate, I have a very strong guide with me, and actually that person I cherish very, very, very much, because he was my client. And yes, he was my client. He passed away when he was 31, and I get in touch with him on a regular basis. And one thing that he keeps on telling me, the truth. The truth.
The truth.
The truth. Everybody needs to know the truth. Everybody needs to know the truth. And the truth is, we're all creator. We're all love. We're all divine energy. We're all, that is all good. So why things are happening the way they're happening right now? Do we have a contribution to this? Of course we do. Do we stand up for the wrong things? No, we don't. Do we speak out for the wrong things? No, we don't. Because we are little people. I call us little people because, you know, money and power, that's what actually make the world run. But people like you and I, that, you know, we're just doing our lives on a daily basis, we don't come forward. And I believe, I don't want to say this wrong, but somebody has says, if you want to see changes, you have to be the change. So I don't know if it was the...
That was Gandhi.
That's right.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
That's exactly it. So
brilliant man.
He did changes, and if we go back in history, there's a lot of people, if they didn't take this on, never will change. Like Nelson Mandela, I was watching his movie the other day. That man lived 27, 28 years in prison just to defend, you know, his people, just to push this forward. If he didn't do that and so on, and other people did, the black community will not be where they are today.
I think that might be one of the problems that people face, is the sacrifice that needs to be made. Gandhi, people like Gandhi and Nelson Mandela, they understood that the sacrifice was nothing compared to what the end result was going to be. Most of us are terribly afraid of that, but for most of the people in the world, they never even have that choice. Everything is taken away from them, and then they have to rebuild. And it happens to a lot of people here too. There are so many people around us in this region, in this country even, where there should be no suffering. We have everything.
Exactly.
Yet there is.
Exactly.
And perhaps it's karma, perhaps it's wrong decisions in this life, perhaps it's whatever, but it's never the end of the road, right?
No. And I'm going to answer that because when you see so many people, as much as I think, when you meet people one-on-one, it becomes very intimate when I do reading for somebody, because I'm really seeing a lot of things that they don't talk about it to other people. And the biggest factor that I see with people today is the fear. They're so afraid. There is fear in everybody's heart. And it's like, why are you afraid? The unknown? Yeah, but the unknown will become known. You just have to kind of, open up this road and move forward. One person in my life that I think she was the big factor that I didn't want to slow down was my mother. God bless her soul. She passed away 7 years ago. And my mom came to this country and she didn't learn the language. So she found it very hard. And as I was growing up, to become a woman, and I decided to understand why mom didn't live. Why didn't she find her independence? And I said, and talked with her, I said, you had everything. Why didn't you push? Why didn't you live a different life than the life you live? The first thing she said to me, you have to understand my upbringing. I had nothing to say about anything, but also I'm afraid. So her fear kept her from moving in life, from opening doors, from experiencing. What's the worst case scenario that will happen to anybody? Example, before we opened the store, me and my partner, we looked at each other and said, okay, what's the worst case scenario? That we sell everything we have, and we move into a one-bedroom apartment. I said, but one thing most important, we still have each other. So it doesn't matter. The material I learned through my life, the material come and goes. If you buy it once, you can buy it again. You can buy it again. So really, if anybody puts so important on the material, it's not important.
And this is perhaps why it's so much easier for your message, our message, the message, to get through to young people when they're starting out. because they have less to lose. They have everything to gain. Imagine living a whole life the way you were meant to, as opposed to just the last years of your life the way you were meant to. But luckily, young people, I find these days, as much as they're getting into more trouble because there's more confusion around them, they're also much more open.
Yes, they have more opportunities.
They have more opportunities.
Of course, and they have more knowledge than we did. Like, I look at the young people, they're coming, they have so much at their tip of their fingers than when we were growing up. We didn't do much, we didn't know much, you know, and it was the parents that, you know, they were in charge of us, and if they said no, it was no. Today, children have so much freedom, so much that they can learn and open up, and one of the things they should is don't be afraid. I work with a lot of children. I have a few children that come here.
Children, what do you mean by children?
Children from the age of 8, 9, 10, 11, up till, you know, Warren's age. And they come here and they say, well, Mary, we see this, we see that. And we sit down and we talk about it, and they're not afraid. They're not afraid because we're opening up these doors for them. If you look, when I was their age, I couldn't talk about something like that. I couldn't say, and I used to tell my mother, you know, well, I saw that person. She would say, it's only your imagination, so go play. It's like disregard totally this. Today, it's not the case. I'm working with a mother right now with her son. He sees things. He's afraid to sleep because he doesn't want to see things. So he's been in the shop for a couple of times. The first time, you know, it's like, okay, you have to take it easy to approach him, to open up. The second time he came here, his mom actually brought him for a meditation. And after the meditation, he wanted to buy one of my candles, the chakra candles. And he says, or his mother said, which one should he take? I looked at her, I said, he knows. And I can feel it from him, and I had my eye on one candle, and this is exactly the candle that he picked. And as he's picking the candle, he said, they told me that this one I need. The time before, the first time he came, he didn't want to talk about it. And he didn't want to give me any answer about my questions, but he was very nice. But the second time, you can see he started to open up a little bit. So I'm hoping our third meeting will be even better for him. But also during the meditation, he heard me say how to protect yourself, how to ground yourself, how to keep the light from any harm to come to you. And just the fact that he heard that, he knew that he can protect himself. So the fear stops. So once the fear stops, your heart is open and you're willing to receive.
Because you know you're not alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which so many people feel like they are.
Just when you were setting the cameras this morning, I can tell you, we had a few angels in here because I can feel them.
Good. Thank you. I can't. I think I'm always wandering in a maze, not in a maze, not in a haze, not even that, but I must take it for granted because I must be protected all the time.
I'm sure you are. And also your action, that's also another thing that it will help you through life. Your action in life and your action when you cross over to the spirit world, that will be the big challenge right there. So
many of us, at various points in our lives, we come to a fork in the road and we think, which way should I go? What should I do? Should I make this decision or not? And yes, you can listen to your gut, but can you also come to a Mary to say and ask the question? And
absolutely. People, I will not make the decision for you. Absolutely not. I'm not here to make any decision for anybody, but I'm here to give you your options and open doors and make sure that people know that they're not alone, that yes, you have your guides, you have your angels, you have your loved ones that have crossed over. They all can see and feel things that us as human here, because we have the physical body, so we're not as enlightened as the spirits or the guides or the angels. So when we do ask and we ask them to come in our lives and help us, well, they make sure that they work with you, because we have many guides, we are born with 13 guides. Then as we
We're born with 13 guides?
Yes. Oh, yeah. At least 13 guides.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
What a nice thought.
To my knowledge, this is what I've been giving from my guides. And your 13 guide actually is your gut feeling, which is your connection with the divine energy. So, and it's something that we say to each other every day almost, but we have no clue where it comes from. I'm sure you heard that from friends, family, acquaintance. Anybody says, well, you know what? Wait and see what your gut feeling is going to tell you about this. Did you ever hear that?
Oh, God.
And another thing we do say to each other is, why don't you sleep on it? You get the answer tomorrow. There's a reason for all these things, but people never took the chance or they wanted to analyze, why do we say that? First of all, when we say listen to your gut feeling, is because actually your gut feeling is the connection that we have with the divine energy. So if you're asked something and you feel that it's exciting and it's like, oh wow, this energy is really exciting, that means whatever you ask for is going to be good for you and it's going to happen. But you have to wait for it, because everything will come to you in due time. If you ask something and you feel kind of heavy and you're almost in tears or depressed or a negative feeling, that means don't go there. It's not the time, it's not the good time, or it's not the good things to do for yourself. Right. The same thing when we say, well, you know, sleep on it and you'll get your answer. As we're all sleeping at night as human beings, our spirits travels. All of us. There is not one human being that doesn't do astral travel. We all do. And this is how we're able to get our answers or the things that we sleep on it. We have, you know, a better idea the next day. So during our sleep, your spirit actually is traveling, connecting with your loved ones, connecting with your angel, with your guides, to go get what you need to keep on going. And the more you're open to this, it's so easy. And actually, I have an amazing, amazing little girl that she comes here and she's so aware of her gift that she keeps a book. And she came to one of my meditations and she said, Mary, are you going to help me with my gift? I said, keep writing. And every time you write something, you come and see me and we'll work together. In December, the negative energy was strong, very, very strong.
Universally.
Yes, in the universe, because of the planet. And, you know, Mercury, when it hits, it's a little bit heavy. But with that little girl, even her in December, she was having vision that she didn't like. And she can tell which is the good spirit and which is the bad spirit. She told me a story, I laughed about it, but I laughed in a way that she's just so, for her, it's life. So it's natural. Part of her. It's so natural. There's no fear. There's no obstacle. There's no all of that. And she brings so much joy to my heart. And she said, I don't remember the story, but somebody asked her about a spirit. And she said, well, don't worry. When I go to bed tonight, I'm going to go look for that spirit. And I'll ask her. This is how she, oh yeah. And she's very nice. She said, you know what? When I want to read cards, I just ask my guides. And they show me how to do that. So she's only 9 years old or 10 years old, but she really has so much knowledge. Why? Because she's open to that.
I so love hearing you talk this way, Mary, and I will tell you for many reasons, but one particular reason is because what you're doing is bringing out something that's in people. You're not pretending that you are some wise guru who can put it into people, which so many, I have to call them charlatans, do, and charge enormous amounts of money, making people believe that if they will pay all of this money, they will have access to some of the secrets of the universe.
Yeah.
The secrets of the universe are within us, and you give people that permission to believe it for those who come looking.
You're absolutely, and in my line of work, there's great medium. I cannot say that there's greats out there, but there's also some that they pretend to be. And I tell people, I say, when you go see somebody, a medium or a clairvoyant or a psychic, never ask your questions. Never ever ask a question before. Always leave your questions at the end, because what's going to happen is You walk in, you start, oh, I have this question, I have this question, I have this question. You bet that your reading is going to be built on that. You know, yes, I ask my client to prepare their questions with it, because once they come, they're so hyper and they're so stressed when they walk in, and I feel them. So I just, you know, start talking about the weather and this, and just bring the energy down a little bit. Then they bring out their questions and their photos. I said, no, 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 no. This we're going to leave on the side. And they look at me weird, and I say, I don't want this. This is my challenge. This is my challenge with you, that after I'm done speaking, then you look in your whatever you brought and tell me what I have not answered. And if it's not, maybe you're not due to have this answer yet, or I'll try to get the answer. So it's always a challenge. Every reading I do with a client, it's a challenge for me.
And I bet you love it.
I do. I do.
Now, Mary, we're going to have to break in a moment, but first I would like you to introduce the next guest whom you went to. You asked, you and your guides perhaps got together with his guides and brought the two of you together?
Absolutely. Warren, he's a lovely, lovely young man that I met when we first opened the store. And I remember when he came to the store, I'll let him explain himself, but he was in a different headspace that he is today. I've been watching him for the past 2 years. He did amazing changes in his life, in his appearance, and in everything, the way he's looking at life. And he is on his way to success, and I have a tremendous great feeling for him, and I love everybody. He's even younger than my children, but I love children, so I just adopted him to be my child, spiritual child. This is how I see it. And my door is always open for Warren, and he knows that, and you're gonna love talking with him.
I can't wait to hear his story.
So I'm gonna leave that to Warren actually to tell you what is his experience with Moonlight Medium.
All right. So we're going to come back and we're going to talk to Warren Reisinger, who is someone who volunteered to talk to us about his experience with Mary and mediumship. And then we're going to come back to Mary so that she can kind of sum up and get us ready for the next episode, at which we're going to have Mary, because like the rest of you, I just can't get enough of Mary.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Le GF Show, c'est quoi?
Bienvenue au GF Show, c'est un tout nouveau TV show, on va dire. Ah ouais, vas-y, let's go! Je sais pas si vous allez me trouver pas. Bienvenue tout le monde au GF Show, c'est un tout nouveau TV show. Vous allez voir, je suis pas que numéro. On va avoir du fun, oh ouais, go! Bienvenue tout le monde.
Le GF Show, c'est de l'humour, de l'entertainment, du divertissement, des sketchs, des parodies, des conneries, des observations, des chroniques et j'en passe. Le GF Show, c'est tout! C'est n'importe quoi! C'est pour vous autres, c'est à TVC22 que c'est là. Ne le manquez pas!
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue au GF Show.
Your health. Tips for healthy living.
Driving in severe winter conditions can be challenging and dangerous. Here are a few tips that can help keep you safe while driving. Be alert and slow down in the winter. Maintain a safe distance from vehicles in front of you. A 4-second distance is ideal in slippery conditions. When possible, drive during daylight hours. And consider taking a winter driving course so you can learn how to brake safely, how to get out of a skid, and how your car handles in winter weather.
Il m'en manque un, moi, avec, là.
Non, c'est moi qui l'ai.
Oh, 71. Oh, 71.
Hey, si tu jouerais, ça irait bien mieux.
Je sais pas compter.
I30. Bingo! 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 Bingo!
C'est bon.
Le TV Bingo, en direct du studio TVC22, tous les dimanches 19h15 sur TVC22 ou sur internet au www.tvc22.ca.
So here we are back again, this time with Warren Reisinger. Reisinger. You don't speak German.
No, I do not speak German. I wish I did, but I don't.
Well, that's all right. You've still got that German soul somewhere in there, and probably
I'm sure
many
I do,
other kinds. So, 2 years that you've known Mary.
Yep.
And you're local? You live here in Rockland?
Yeah, I've lived in Rockland for probably about 15 years or so.
And do you know what brought you to Mary?
Well, I actually work just next door to Mary, and
Where's that?
at Rosalind Bistro and Catering.
At Rosalind. Okay.
Yeah.
Well known in town.
Yeah. And for the longest time, I kind of looked to different outsources for spiritual guidance. I guess it's something that I was kind of gifted with at a younger age, and it's something that, you know, as I got older, I looked for different shops or different stores to kind of, I guess, fill a void or fill a need to explore myself spiritually. And I guess just once upon a time I was coming to work, and I noticed the sign on the shop, and as I looked at it more clearly, I saw that it was a medium shop coming into Rockland. And it just hit me that my first opportunity I had to go there, I went there and I met Mary, and it was probably one of the most life-changing experiences that I could have possibly had.
So you'd been looking for a long time, you knew that,
Yeah.
and you were lucky enough to find the right person
Yeah.
very early in life.
Yeah.
Sometimes we find the wrong ones, and
Yeah.
then we go down a lot of paths that can, as I mentioned earlier, it can cost a lot of money and don't necessarily get us where we want to go. So you and Mary, I mean, Mary is easy to talk to.
Oh, very, very easy to talk to.
Easy
yes.
to connect with, golly. And so the two of you had this connection, and it led to some changes in your life, she mentioned.
Yes, actually.
And you're willing to talk about them, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah. Well, I came to the shop and I met with Mary, and through my life, like I was kind of going through the transition of being a teenager and transitioning into a young adult, and just a lot of things in my life were very negative. I couldn't really see where my future was really going. I had problems spiritually, just not being able to be open and being negative all the time. I guess appearance-wise, I didn't really do much for myself. I used to have just like very long, kind of shaggy hair, and I'm in the hospitality industry, and to have something like that is just it's not very much of a professional look for myself. And I guess just coming here and talking to her, I was able to get a little more confidence in myself. I was able to just kind of open up and see my path in life and see where I wanted to go. Not too long after meeting with Mary all the time, I signed up for meditation classes, which I guess helped me relax a lot more and just be calm and more centered and grounded with myself, so that I could actually focus on where I wanted to go or my path in life. And not too long after that, I started my college for culinary, and went through a full year of schooling for culinary and shaped up my appearance. I lost the long hair, and yeah, it was just...
So would you say that the talks that you had with Mary gave you the opportunity to find something that you could believe in? Because I think that's one of the problems with so many adolescents. I can remember even my adolescent years. Just don't want to believe in anything.
Definitely, the talks with Mary kind of shaped me a lot better. I was able to focus more on the positive energies around. I was able to, I guess, get in touch more with my spirit guides and start slowing down in life and actually looking at signs all around me and what they were trying to tell me, and kind of feel where they were guiding me, as opposed to just kind of blocking everything out, and just with the attitude of I'm going nowhere in life, or I don't see things progressing fast enough for me. And I guess kind of as Mary said, everyone wants something to happen yesterday, and that's exactly where I was in my life. I'm the type of person that looks for results to come instantly, as opposed to being more patient and letting things happen. And
I think that's very much a disease of our society, and
of course.
certainly of our generation, because everything is so fast, everything is so instantaneous with computers, and you can get the music you want right away. You don't have to go and get the record and put the needle right on the right spot on the record. Everything is instantaneous, which is good, but our minds haven't kept up with that. Certainly our ability to think hasn't speeded up, so we get all jumbled and mixed up, and very sense of strong dissatisfaction. So you're still close to your teenage years, but you've moved far beyond them, probably much faster than most people, if they hadn't made that connection with their spirit being, which is a part of all of us.
Oh, of course. I think it's definitely important to be able to connect with yourself spiritually, because that's just, I guess, a whole different part of yourself as opposed to, I guess, just like the real world and what's going on every day in your life. To be able to connect outside of that, in your dreams or in your mind, just...
So did you have trouble sleeping before? Did this make it easier for you to sleep? Because it was...
At one point in my life, I did have actually a lot of troubles being able to have a good night's sleep. I find more so than ever, now I'm able to use the skills that I've learned through just meditation and being able to control my breathing and control my thoughts now, and just being able to slow everything down. Now I'm having, I sleep very well at night now.
And you know it's not time wasted.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, tell me, have you found a difference in your ability to concentrate as well? If you can.
It definitely, my concentration, I would say, is still all over the place, and that's just the kind of person I am. I'm very up in the air. But definitely when I put my mind to it, I'm able to concentrate a lot better, and to just be able to slow things down and just take life, a second at a time, as opposed to just trying to make everything happen really fast and being very disorganized.
Yeah, and everything has just fallen into place, so that you're being vindicated, validated for what you believe, for the path you've taken. Do you find, you said that you see signs, that you look for signs now and you recognize signs. Can you mention an example or two? The kinds of things you're looking for?
I guess a lot of things pertain to like when I'm dreaming. I start trying to slow down and kind of remember my dreams sometimes, because Mary actually has a wonderful reading lounge in her shop. And I actually, a lot of the times I used to come here and I would find dream dictionaries, and a lot of the times the meanings of the certain dreams I would remember, and I'd come here and look them up and start realizing that there is a greater importance to when you actually slow down and notice certain signs. And
so do you find it easier, I shouldn't even put it that way, do you find yourself talking to people more and more about spirituality and about your experiences? Do you find you're attracting like-minded people?
Oh, definitely. I definitely find that when you have an open mind like that, you do tend to attract other people with an open mind about the spiritual universe. And I do like to talk about it, but I also like to just let people kind of bring it up, and it's something that's still a hard subject to bring up with people. I just like to keep an open mind myself, and if someone else were to show me that they're open to the subject, then I have no problem talking about it.
Yeah, you do strike me as a little bit of a shy guy. Still.
Yeah, definitely have that shy guy attitude.
Shy guy attitude. Who can't hide behind his long hair anymore.
Yeah, I can't.
But it's kind of nice because it gives you a certain believability, because you don't come across as trying to impress or to convince. You just, this is what I am, and if you want to meet me halfway, then yes, we can certainly talk.
Yeah.
So, do you find that your appreciation of your work and of the people around you has changed because of this greater awareness of the universe within you and outside of you?
I find that actually my attitude has changed towards people. I start believing in putting more positive energy and positive vibes to myself personally and to the people around me. Just little things I can do within my day to make other people's days better, and just kind of paying it forward, letting other people, you know, if I touch someone in a positive way, that, you know, someone else will continue the effect along. Mm-hmm. It's a very big thing that's often talked about in the media, that the communication. It's so important for humans to communicate, because we are all connected, and if we cut ourselves off, then we're losing a part of ourselves. We never know what we're losing. But yet, the false, well, it's not false, but because when we communicate electronically, we're still communicating. But it's never the same thing as face-to-face, eye-to-eye. There's something special that happens when two people look each other in the eye and talk. Of course. And as opposed to even through Skype, I don't think you quite get that connection. Yeah. And that's probably one of the many mysteries of to explore. And at your young age, this is the wonderful thing. You're already on the path, and you can look forward to so many years ahead of you when you can keep exploring and expanding. Of course. So Warren, I want to thank you so much for having the guts to come and talk on camera like this. Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I know that what you've been through, what you've said, is going to touch someone, perhaps many someones. And hey, you never know where things are going to lead to, but you can always feel when you're on the right path, right? Yeah. Yeah. So thank you very much, Warren.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching, and we'll be right back with Mary to just recap a little bit of this beautiful phenomenon of a growing human being. Thank you. Thanks, Warren.
Informez-vous avec Jacques est une émission d'intérêt public à but non lucratif qui couvre tout ce qui se passe dans notre belle région de Clarence-Rockland. Animé par Jacques Tessier, sur place, il assemble entrevues avec des moments cocasses sur les organisations et événements qui se déroulent durant l'année. Jacques s'intéresse à vous et est là pour vous informer de ce qui se passe chez vous. Informez-vous avec Jacques à TVC22 ou sur Internet à www.tvc22.ca.
Your health. Tips for healthy living.
Harsh winter weather can sometimes affect your mental wellness, but did you know that getting some exercise can help you ward off those cold weather blues? Snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, and hiking are just some of the great winter activities you can enjoy on your own, or better yet, with friends and family. And if it's very cold or slippery outside, try some indoor activities like yoga or a spin class to keep those winter blues at bay.
So here we are back again with Mary after a wonderful short interview with Warren. What an amazing young man. This is his first time on camera.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he's been through an awful lot over the last 2 years. But here he was, just talking about some of the things that most people don't really want to bother talking about, because somebody's going to laugh at them, or somebody's going, or they're going to laugh at themselves.
But you know what? I'm
We're
proud.
all one,
Yes,
right?
yes,
we all
absolutely.
We all start like little idiots with our thumbs stuck in our mouth, and everybody thinks it's cute.
Warren is a good example because he actually opened up, he removed the fear from his heart, and he was open to possibilities. He just opened himself, and like he said, he got his diploma this year, and he's a chef, and he sees the potential. He sees the potential of himself just by removing that fear, that doubt. So my message for people today is move forward, remove the fear. When you have fear, ask your guides, ask your angels, and if you have loved ones that have crossed over, please involve everybody from the other side. It's not because your naked eye cannot see these people or these entities that they're not around. They are absolutely around. I'm going to be putting this on my next newsletter that is coming out. A couple of weeks ago, I have meditation class every Friday from 12 to 1. And actually, it's a lovely group of ladies that they come. It's not a big group. We're about 3 or 4. But the dynamic among these women is just amazing. And a couple of weeks ago, 2 of the ladies that were here for meditation, they decided to take a picture because during meditation, they can actually feel the touch and the warmth, and you know, they felt that we were not alone in the room, which I always tell them we're never alone. My mom is always here. I do meditation and she's right sitting behind me. She's always protecting me. So it's just an amazing feeling to have that. And they took pictures. Believe it or not, wait to see this picture. You can see the 2 entities, the light right in the room. By the time I ran to grab my cell phone to take the picture, the spirits had gone, but one of them sent me the picture. So imagine that we're never alone. So I
have seen pictures like that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And you're going to see, because you know the shop, you know that what goes on here. So when you're going to see this, you say, oh, now. And people that they've been here before, they actually maybe it's going to help them to believe, or maybe help them to know, well, yeah, we're never alone. Because some people just feel skeptical about that.
They are skeptical.
Yeah.
And it's good to be skeptical because we want to make sure that we're listening to ourselves and not to somebody else. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, your meditation classes, or no, these are meditation sessions, they're not classes.
Well, they are classes that I teach people.
So anybody could come?
Yeah, anybody can come. There's no contract. It's first come, first serve, always, because I don't have a lot of space. So just make sure to call me to make sure that there is, first of all, class, because if I don't have a lot of people, that class doesn't take place. But make sure, and also have Monday night from 7 to 8. So it's twice a week.
Now, meditation is something that people hear about and often intuitively understand that it's a good thing, but many people, myself included, couldn't for the longest time meditate. I felt, okay, this is something for somebody else. It's not for me. And then one time I was with a person who led a group through a meditation, and it was the most extraordinary experience, and I felt, okay, I too can do this. It took a few years before I too did do this. But now it's a part of my life, and it's wonderful. So people needn't wait that long. People needn't be so shy. People needn't be so skeptical. People can just come to you, and you can
try it. I tell people, try it. And you know, like I've been doing meditation all my life. It's part of my way of living. And there's days that it doesn't matter what I do. I cannot go into meditation. I cannot go into this state of mind at all. So it's normal for anybody. So if you try meditation for the first time, please don't give up. If you don't go into it, or if you don't feel anything, it's not going to happen just like that. Remember, we're not machine. We're energy.
We are not machines.
We are not machines.
We are beings.
We are beings. We are beings.
If no other message got through today, not likely. We are not machines.
We are not machines. We are energy.
We are perfectly designed beings.
Yes, we are. And if you actually, the divine energy had put us in an amazing body. This body has everything that you can think of, even to heal. your body has all the antibody, has all the hormones, has all the vitamins to actually heal itself. And that's another thing that we are trying to do here, is to teach people or to bring to their attention that your body is the most amazing, amazing creation that's never been created.
I'm glad you brought that up because that leads into what hopefully will be our next session with Darkise,
Yes.
some Reiki, because you can have somebody do this for you or you can do it for yourself.
Absolutely.
And yes, there is a lot of hope for healing, not only spiritually but physically.
Absolutely.
I am so looking forward to that, Mary.
Me too. I'm looking
Thank
forward
you.
for our next discussion. And next time, Darkise is going to be with us. And she's an amazing, amazing human being also. And I can't wait for everybody to hear what she has to say.
And there you have it. I'm afraid we're going to have to wait for a few more weeks, but I promise you that we'll be back. And thank you very much for watching Cats About Town, and over and out.
And 42. 42. C'est stressant. J'ai 48. J'ai 48.
Wow, c'est moi qui l'a.
Tu montes dedans.
C'est moi.
Hey.
C'est à moi.
Oh, bingo!
Bingo.
Ah,
C'est
bingo.
moi.
Qui qui a bingo?
C'est elle.
T'as bingo!
Ben oui,
Ben, t'as bingo!
c'est nerfs.
Pour les mains.
Là, bon, ouais, c'est fini, hein?
Travaille comme un débile pour un bingo, ben là! J'ai un bingo, mais pas enthousiaste à rien.
Le TV Bingo, en direct du studio TVC22, tous les dimanches 19h15 sur TVC22 ou sur Internet au www.tvc22.ca. Cats About Town is a show of public interests about people living and working in Clarence, Rockland. Hosted by Katalin, she talks and interviews local guests about their jobs and their ways of life. Katalin talks about her fascination for Aboriginal people, the community, the evolution of our great city, and shares her perspective and thoughts about life. Don't miss Cats About Town on TVC22 or on the internet at www.tvc22.ca.
Since its creation a century ago, Canada's Labour Program has reached out beyond Canada's borders, becoming a founding member of the International Labour Organization, being one of the first to ratify the Convention on the Elimination of the Worst Forms of Child Labour, protecting human rights, addressing globalization and the polarization of rich and poor. Canada's Labour Program, building a better workplace.
Labor has been the engine of this country, propelling the economy, fueling the furnaces of a nation. For over 100 years, Canada's Labour Program has worked to promote a fair, safe, healthy, stable and productive work environment. Its achievements contributing to the social and economic well-being of all Canadians. Canada Post honours that commitment with a special commemorative stamp. Canada's Labour Program, building a better workplace.
The strength of a nation, the conflict of strong wills. For over a century, Canada's Labour Program has been part of building the best country in the world, mediating, helping management and labour find their own solutions. Today in Canada's federally regulated industries, over 90% of labour management disputes are resolved without a work stoppage. Employers, unions and Canada's Labour Program, building a better workplace.
Jadis, personne ne savait ce qu'était la santé et la sécurité au travail. Les risques étaient partout présents. les accidents, monnaie courante. Depuis plus de 100 ans, le Programme canadien du travail s'efforce d'améliorer la sécurité au travail pour réduire le coût terrible des accidents en argent, en souffrance et en perte de vie. Ce programme, avec les employeurs, les employés et les syndicats, est engagé à créer un milieu de travail plus sécuritaire. Le Programme canadien du travail, à l'œuvre pour vous. « 1916. Devant des témoins horrifiés, le Parlement, un édifice inestimable, et des victimes sont la proie des flammes. Cette tragédie suscite beaucoup d'émoi, donnant lieu à de nouvelles mesures de prévention des incendies. Le Programme canadien du travail est fier de contribuer à la prévention des incendies, en encourageant la sécurité, en fixant des normes et en contribuant à protéger tous les Canadiens des périls du feu. Le Programme canadien du travail, à l'œuvre pour vous.
Depuis un siècle, tout a bien changé. Les congés de maladie étaient rares, les renvois injustifiés, monnaie courante. Les congés de maternité ou parentaux n'existaient pas. Peu de sécurité d'emploi, aucun congé payé ni de normes minimales. Le Programme canadien du travail s'est toujours efforcé, avec les employés, les syndicats et les employeurs, d'établir des pratiques d'emploi justes dans les industries de compétences fédérales. Le Programme canadien du travail, à l'œuvre pour vous. En 1900, personne n'avait entendu parler d'équité en matière d'emploi. L'accès au travail et les promotions étaient réservés à un groupe de privilégiés. De nos jours, l'équité en matière d'emploi, c'est d'être en affaires. Elle permet une saine utilisation des ressources humaines disponibles et d'être juste pour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, dans les industries de compétences fédérales, l'équité en matière d'emploi, c'est la loi. Le Programme canadien du travail, à l'œuvre pour vous.
Depuis sa création il y a un siècle, le Programme canadien du travail a dépassé les frontières du Canada. Membre fondateur de l'Organisation internationale du travail, il a été l'un des premiers à ratifier la Convention sur l'élimination des pires formes de travail des enfants, à défendre les droits de la personne et à se pencher sur la mondialisation ainsi que sur l'écart entre riches et pauvres. Le Programme canadien du travail, à l'œuvre pour vous.
Le travail est le moteur de l'économie, le carburant de la nation. Depuis plus d'un siècle, le Programme canadien du travail fait la promotion d'un environnement de travail sain, juste, sécuritaire, stable et productif. Ces réalisations contribuent au bien-être social et économique de la population canadienne. Pour marquer cet engagement, la Société canadienne des postes émet un timbre commémoratif spécial. Le Programme canadien du travail, à l'œuvre pour vous.